Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is lighting a cigarette. It'll take about 10 seconds for the nicotine to hit their brain. A habit so common today that over 1 billion people do it daily. But somebody had to be first. Somewhere a very long time ago, one person put a burning plant near their face on purpose. And it turns out that moment happened much, much earlier than anyone expected. Not thousands of years ago. Before farming, before pottery, before most of what we call civilization. For a long time, scientists thought they knew the answer. In 2018, researchers studying an archaeological site in Alabama found ceramic pipes with nicotine residue baked into the clay. The pipes were about 3,300 years old. For years, that was the oldest confirmed evidence of humans smoking anything. Then, in 2021, a team digging in the Utah desert found something that broke that record completely. Not a pipe, not pottery, just 4 tiny burnt seeds sitting in an old fire pit. The site is called Wishbone, out in the Great Salt Lake Desert. 12,300 years ago, this place wasn't desert at all. It was a marsh, full of ducks and wetland plants. A group of hunter-gatherers built a fire there, cooked their meal, and rested. Archaeologists found over 2,000 duck bones around that hearth. Spear tips, tools for hunting large game. And mixed in with all of that, 4 seeds from a wild tobacco plant. The nearest wild tobacco didn't even grow near that marsh. Someone had carried it in from the foothills on purpose. Tobacco seeds don't burn easily, and they're useless as food. So they weren't fuel, they weren't dinner. The only part of the plant that has any effect on the body is the leaves and stems, which means someone was using those parts and the seeds just came along for the ride. Maybe they chewed a wad of the leaf and spat the seeds into the fire. Maybe they smoked it directly over the coals. Either way, they were after the same thing every smoker is after today. The lightness, the buzz, the nicotine. This wasn't a farming society. There was no agriculture yet anywhere on Earth. These were people who had only just arrived in the Americas, following the last of the Ice Age megafauna across an unfamiliar continent. And in the middle of all that survival, someone still stopped to try a plant that made them feel different. The lead researcher on this discovery put it simply. It's very human to want to feel something different, even at the edge of survival. This pushed the story of tobacco back by 9,000 years in a single discovery. But tobacco is only half of this story. Because on the other side of the planet, a completely different group of humans was doing something eerily similar. High in the Pamir Mountains, on the border of what's now western China, archaeologists excavating a cemetery called Jirzankal found something unusual inside the tombs. 10 small wooden bowls called Braziers, each one holding small stones. The stones showed clear signs of having been heated to high temperatures. When chemists analyzed the residue left behind, they found something specific. Cannabis, and not just any cannabis. A strain with unusually high levels of THC, the plant's mind-altering compound. Most ancient hemp was grown for fiber or oil. It had almost no psychoactive effect at all. But whoever burned this cannabis in these braziers had found, or bred, something stronger. The burial site dates to around 500 BCE, roughly 2,500 years ago. This wasn't casual use. It happened at funerals. Alongside the braziers, archaeologists found wooden harps and human remains showing signs of ritual. Music, smoke, and mourning all happening together high above the clouds. The smoke wasn't meant for one person either. The braziers were shaped to let a small group breathe in the same rising smoke together. Researchers believe it may have helped the living feel closer to whomever they just lost. So here's what's strange. 2 completely separate groups of humans, thousands of miles apart, with no contact between them. One in a desert marsh in North America. One in a frozen mountain range in Central Asia. Both looked at a burning plant and figured out the exact same trick. Inhale the smoke and something in your mind shifts. That's not a coincidence, that's biology. Nicotine and THC both cross into the brain within seconds of being inhaled. Both trigger a rush of dopamine, the brain's own reward signal. It's one of the fastest ways a plant compound can reach the brain at all. Faster than eating it, faster than drinking it. Which may be exactly why smoking, specifically, kept getting reinvented. Not because anyone copied anyone else, but because the human brain responds to inhaled smoke in a way it doesn't respond to almost anything else. Once people found that effect, they didn't keep it to themselves. They built it into their most important ceremonies. Centuries later, in the jungles of what's now Mexico and Guatemala, the Maya took this even further. Maya pottery from over 1,000 years ago shows gods themselves smoking tobacco. One vessel even shows a deity smoking a rolled tobacco leaf, almost identical in shape to a modern cigar. For the Maya, tobacco wasn't casual at all. It was medicine, it was ritual, and it was a way to speak with the divine. Priests smoked to enter trances. Healers smoked to diagnose illness. Ordinary smoke was rare. Sacred smoke was everywhere. Across North America, different nations developed their own version of this same idea. The ceremonial pipe, shared in a circle, one breath at a time. Not for pleasure alone, but to seal agreements, to mark peace, to honor the dead. For thousands of years, on two separate continents, smoking stayed something rare and meaningful. A ceremony, a message, a moment shared with a few people, or with the dead, or with the divine. Then, in 1492, everything changed. When Columbus's ships reached the Caribbean, his crew saw something they had never encountered before. People rolling dried leaves into tubes, lighting one end, and breathing in the smoke. One sailor, a man named Rodrigo de Jerez, tried it himself and brought the habit home to Spain. His neighbors had never seen smoke pouring out of a person's mouth before. They thought he was possessed, and the local Inquisition reportedly locked him up for years over it. The first European jailed for smoking, and within a century, half of Europe was doing it. But something got lost on the way across the ocean. In the Americas, tobacco had been sacred, rare, wrapped in ceremony. In Europe, it became something else entirely, a crop, a commodity, a product to be sold. Within decades, entire colonies in the Americas were built around growing it for export. The plant that once opened a conversation with the dead was now opening ledgers and shipping manifests. By the 1800s, tobacco was one of the most valuable traded goods on Earth. But rolling cigarettes by hand was slow. One person could only roll a few hundred a day. In 1880, a young inventor named James Bonsack solved that problem. His machine could roll over 200 cigarettes a minute. What used to take a skilled person all day now happened in the time it takes to read this sentence. That single machine is arguably what turned smoking from a habit into an industry. Cigarettes became cheap enough for almost anyone to buy every single day. A ritual that once happened a few times a year at a funeral or a peace treaty became something people did dozens of times before lunch. And by the mid-1900s, companies had learned exactly how to keep people coming back. Adjusting nicotine levels, adding chemicals to make the smoke feel smoother, easier to inhale deeply. What began as one plant, tried once by curious hunter-gatherers, had been engineered into something far harder to walk away from. Today, the World Health Organization estimates tobacco kills more than 8 million people every year. More than any war being fought on Earth right now. That's the strange arc of this story. It starts with a hunter-gatherer 12,300 years ago, trying something new by a marsh fire. It runs through a mountain funeral in Central Asia, where smoke connected the living to the dead. It passes through Maya temples where gods themselves were painted holding the smoke. It crosses an ocean in the hands of a jailed sailor. And it ends, for now, spinning out of a machine 200 times a minute. The plant never changed all that much. What changed was the meaning we put around it. From something sacred and occasional to something manufactured and constant. From a shared pipe passed once around a circle of elders to a pack of 20 smoked alone without a single thought behind it. That's not really a story about a plant. It's a story about how something sacred can slowly become something automatic. How a ritual, repeated enough times without its original meaning, just becomes a habit. The hunter-gatherer by that marsh fire wasn't chasing an addiction. They were chasing curiosity, a new feeling, a moment of difference in a hard life. The mourners at Jirzankal weren't chasing a product either. They were reaching for a way to feel close to someone they'd lost. Somewhere between then and now, the reaching got replaced by the reflex. That's really the whole arc of this story. What changed was every single thing we built around it. If this kind of deep history story is your thing, let me know in the comments. Did you expect this to go back over 12,000 years? And if you want more stories about the surprising origins of everyday habits, hit subscribe. There's more of this coming. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.